Coming to you all the way from Norfolk, Virginia, Go On Podcasts presents How Embarrassing with Molly and Jeff.
How embarrassing!
How embarrassing? Oh no, I fucked up. How embarrassing! How embarrassing!
Hey, everybody. Welcome to How Embarrassing. It's the podcast about all of our embarrassing lives. My name's Molly.
And I'm Jeff.
And Matt,
Producer Matt.
please don't cancel me. Someone just pointed out to me that producer Matt Cole has a lot of audio of me talking and that he could use it against me.
You better not miss any of his monthly payments then.
Yeah. There's a piper to pay, baby.
You didn't read the contract in
Wait.
fine print.
Did you guys pay me for July? Jesus. Uh-oh.
We did.
I did.
No, we did.
Did.
I made sure she did.
Big time did.
Mm.
Yeah. So you can buy another Ferrari now.
Yeah. Go out. You sitting in your ivory tower counting your coins like an old miser
Yeah.
while we're out here scrubbing the streets, flopping our toots around to get a laugh.
It's
Right?
our knock life for us.
Yeah.
The other day I saw producer Matt Cole going to the store and he had a gold leaf mask on.
Yeah.
And I was like, at least he's following the rules, but still a little pretentious.
The other day I saw Matt Cole blow his nose with a $100 bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reuse
And then-
it, though. I wash it.
But then he pulled out a
Interesting.
different one to wipe his ass. And he didn't
Yeah.
even just take a shit. He just was like, I like money and
Yeah, he just
naughty
wanted
zones.
he wanted the money in his naughty zones.
Oh.
Speaking of naughty zones.
mommy.
Money in your naughty zone. Anyway, make that the soundbite.
Stop trying to force sound bites.
I know I'm forcing.
No
it.
one's going to
Not
beat sensual love.
I don't think you've talked a
know.
single thing about How Embarrassing podcast so far, but
You're right. Okay,
She
Jeffy
mumbled through
do.
the intro. She did the
You
whole.
gotta-
I was going to go embarrassing life. My name is Molly. I'm Molly, and she got really excited when she got to say her own name.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was at the roast of Molly Graham today.
you guys roasted me for 2 solid minutes without
Yeah,
being
we
I'm
definitely-
feeling a little bit betrayed. Jeff, do you have a story you want to share?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay.
So about a week ago, I went to 7-Eleven to get beer.
I've heard of it.
And I went to the 7-Eleven near Molly's house, which is the 7-Eleven I don't like.
It's the lesser one. I get
It's
it.
the worst
It's
one.
true.
It's not good.
So I go in, put my little masky on, reverse the order of those two, and then I go to
Yeah,
open.
cancel Jeff. Cancel him.
No. Edit it in post. But yeah, I go to get beer, and all the beer coolers are locked at this weird 7-Eleven, and you have to go ask the front desk lady or
They make
cashier.
you fucking go up like, Daddy, can I have a PBR, please?
Daddy, I'm trying to get lit.
That's a soundbite right there.
They make you just like go crawling up to the counter like, hey, can I get a case of beer? And you're like, it's degrading. I don't know why they're doing that to us.
It's awful. But I went and she went to go get the beer, and I followed her to like tell her which beer it was. And something happened where my button popped off on my shorts
Oh.
and it like shot onto the ground like next to some guy, and I was just like didn't want anyone to notice it, so I just started holding my pants up. Like when it popped, like the zipper came completely down also, so they like almost fell off, and like zip it up.
Jeff got a massive boner when he was buying beer.
And it just ripped my pants right
His
off.
pants just
Nice.
busted open.
But then I'm like, I'm just like holding on to my pants, and now I feel like I have like a gun under my shirt or something because I have like my
Your
hand.
hard peen.
No, because I'm holding my pants and my shirt's covering my hand, and it looks awkward. And then I'm just like trying to buy this beer from her, and she's like, "Is this one?" I'm like, "Yeah." At this point, just give me whatever.
Give me
Let me
garbage.
get the fuck out of here. And
Yeah.
I got out of there and like held my pants all the way to Molly's house until she gave me a safety pin. It was
Nice.
degrading. So I sewed my button back on and I'm good to go.
Nice. You're ready to rock. You know, I have a sewing kit. I could have just sewed your button back on.
Okay, I sewed it on myself. I could have
Okay.
done it myself, and I did.
I get it. You're independent. I have a story from this week, in case you were wondering. So my story takes place on last Wednesday. I drove to work. So I've had really bad diarrhea for about 8 days now.
COVID.
It's getting
mommy.
better. It's getting better. But I drove to work on Wednesday and came so close to having a accident in my pants in
Poo-poo.
the parking garage that I immediately just left. I drove back home and called my boss and was like, I can't work today.
No.
I've been having really bad stomach issues.
Did you tell her specifically why and how far did you get?
Like, kind of. I am an open book. But so whatever. I call this, we have like a phone doctor that I can use for my insurance. It's like you call this hotline. And so I called the hotline to set up my appointment. And, you know, they ask you your symptoms and it's a doctor. So I'm being honest and just, you know, trying to tell it like it is. And, so what they do is they put your name on a thing and then you get a call back and an operator picks up and connects you to a doctor. So I get a call back and I'm like, oh, cool, the doctor. And I answer the phone and I just hear, please hold for your diarrhea consultation.
I feel like they don't need to get that specific.
I was like, who the fuck typed that in?
Right. Like they could have just said like doctor consultation.
Like, please hold for your, I don't know, honestly, anything. Diarrhea consultation.
Who's the person out there who like needs that specific? Like they get so many calls from their doctors and they're like, oh, this one must be for my my broken arm. Oh no, wait, it's for my diarrhea.
It's my diarrhea consultation. Oh,
speaking of that, we have a great ad for.
Oh yeah.
Ma'am, stop!
Why?
There is a trail of diarrhea coming out of you. I followed you blocks here.
Oh my God. I didn't even notice. What's a girl to do?
You're polluting our streets. The trolls are in play here.
Oh my God. And the runoff is going to go right into the bay and cause eutrophication.
Turtles die because of your butt.
Oh man. Well,
Unless...
how can I fix it?
Well, you could try this. Some people call it the dopey dope dop, but most people know it as a butt plug.
Oh my God.
It's like a cork for your bum. Go ahead, try it out here in the open public.
Oh.
It stopped the flow.
Yeah.
And with code
right.
How Embarrassing, you can actually get it customized to say things like,
hey, mommy.
and that's the one option to customize it with.
Yeah, you can get it engraved or branded.
Yeah. So
embossed.
Just go to mattcole.com if you want a free anal plug.
Yeah, mattcole.com/how embarrassing and use the code dupe. What was the first thing you said?
That's probably it. Okay, it's kind of hard to do these when we can look at Matt's face the whole time and he just has the most disappointed face.
Yeah, Matt, you gotta start faking it a little.
No, I can't anymore. I'm sorry. Especially when you're not even trying to stick the landing. It's like, just like, call now. That's it. That's all it takes. But you're like, yeah, and go to .com and my butt itches and yeah. So
I didn't say my butt itches.
I don't know.
Don't be gross.
The punchline was that it was at mattcole.com.
I won't accept that.
It's your job to hit the music at the right time.
Although I will say that could have been the edit, but then Molly immediately, I'm gonna roast Molly. She immediately stepped on and she wanted to get the last word.
I saw her lips were moving before I even knew
Sorry,
she
I just keep flapping these flappers. That's what I call my lips.
All right, Matt Cole does the next ad.
Okay, so
And we get to
today's
judge him.
Can we
Okay,
get the
good.
guest on, please?
No.
Fine.
Okay. So today's guest, you know her from Unsolved Mysteries.
You know her her from that time I avoided her for an entire weekend.
Ooh.
And you know her as the apple seller in a 2004 production of Annie Jr. at St. Mark's School. That's right. Put your hands together for Emily Graham.
Apples, 2 for a nickel.
Whoa, she still knows her
Wow.
lines.
Oh my
I got it.
I thought you were a real apple sailor for that.
I
Apple
was about
sailor.
to get out my nickels.
Molly, you've always thought that you were the star in the family, but I really have a bright future ahead of me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, let's see you try to sell apples, Molly.
Yeah.
Gosh, actually, I used to sell produce out of a truck on the side of a highway.
That sounds
so-
right.
That's
That
true.
sounds about right.
That's true.
And Emily would bring me like Chipotle.
Yeah. Molly was like 14 and would sit. Actually, no, you had to have been 16 because you would drive the produce truck.
Yeah.
And she would like sit on the side of a highway and sell like ears of corn and watermelon out of the back of a truck
Wait, really?
for like $4 a day or something.
Yeah,
Wow.
I made commission. I didn't even get an hourly rate. It was just commission off the fruit I sold.
Yeah, and somehow it like I always had just a normal job in like a snowball stand or a restaurant or
Like actual businesses.
an actual business. And Molly at all times had like 6 jobs, none of which were normal. Like selling produce out of a truck, working at a Victorian tea room called Tea on the Tiber. Shout out. That's your ad.
Remember when I student directed the production of Fiddler on the Roof at the Catholic school?
Yes. Yes. Did you also help with the Oella play? Like you would help with plays. You were always doing the most random things.
She was always standing in front of Home Depots asking if anyone needs help with
Yeah, if
anything.
anyone
I was
needs
gonna
help with
say
their home
that
improvement.
people are complaining that immigrants are taking jobs where Molly's taking immigrant jobs.
Yeah. I'm out here hustling, baby.
She's like, I don't want to go the legal route. Just give me something. I'll sell it.
Yeah.
Like, fill out a W-2. No thanks.
I'd rather take $4.25. Yeah.
Whew.
I'm nothing if not a hard worker. Well, Emily, are you embarrassed to be here today?
Oh, I am just mortified. I've actually, ever since the moment you launched a podcast, I think I've been internally dreading the day that I would inevitably be a guest.
How often do people approach you and say, like, are you Molly Graham from How Embarrassing Podcast, sister?
Annoyingly enough,
Wow.
I'm pretty famous. in
several
Cleveland.
times have friends of mine brought up how funny they think you are.
Nice.
Normally it's about your Instagram stories. Oh my God. I can't, Molly's Instagram stories kill me. I can't stop watching The Bees. The Bees were a big hit in Baltimore, Maryland.
The buzz with the bees. Shout out. You can follow me at Molly Dactyl if you want to laugh like Emily's friends.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
you-
it's all your dad just putting wigs on and being like, isn't Molly funny? And then
Yeah.
puts a hat on. Isn't Molly the best?
That's true. Pat Graham is her biggest fan. But
Really.
yeah, so people do follow you and laugh. And my response is always to stop encouraging her.
Wow.
I encourage myself. I am my biggest
well, that's
fan.
the point. You need no reassurance from other people.
Anything for a laugh. The Molly Graham story.
Yeah.
Do you have an embarrassing story that you're ready to share with our millions of listeners?
Your millions of followers.
Yeah.
So funny thing is, I tried to like crowdsource today. I texted a group chat and I said, I'm going on my sister's podcast. What embarrassing stories should I tell? And all of my friends were like, well, everything that you do is embarrassing. Like they couldn't think of a
Wow.
specific item because I just live my life in an embarrassing way. But I think
She's a loser.
the best I
Selling
think
apples on
is
stage.
that two of my best friends who have been my friends for like over 20 years when we were little kids, I was like that kid on the playground that neither of their parents would let them be friends with.
Aw.
They'd be like, no, just don't, try not to hang out with Emily Graham. Like I was like the bad news bears because I was like in a corner, like probably doing weird voices and talking to myself.
I was about to say,
just, like,
it wasn't
being
because
weird.
she was like she wasn't like smoking cigarettes.
No,
she was
it's
like
'cause
just
I was,
such
like-
a freak.
Yes, very strange.
Wow.
So like cross stitching in a corner. One of my friends,
A lot of needlepoint.
a lot of needlepoint at a young age. One of my friends, her mom, the reason part of this friendship band came about was I was on a soccer team. I was probably like 6 or 7, and her mom was coaching the soccer team. And I would just like in the middle of play, sit down in the middle of the field and like pick flowers and be like making flower crowns or like,
Oh.
I was
She was
much
like,
more-
I'm building a fairy house on
I'm
this
building
side
a
of the
fairy
field.
garden. I was just doing all kinds of weird stuff. But luckily for me, these two friends of mine were like super athletic, just like on paper, cool people, like had cool clothes, could play lacrosse, were popular, could have been. But instead they were like, no, we want her to be our friend. That weird one in the corner making the fairy fort. So
And then like her freaking deranged little sister, there was me. I didn't have any friends of my own, so I would just follow Emily around.
yeah, so Molly was just like a part of the crew at that point. And yeah, so luckily I overcame the odds, but I was like that weird kid in your child's class that's like, don't just be friends with anyone but that one.
Pick
Yeah.
a new friend.
Our kid was named Patrick, but on the first day of 2nd grade, he said, "Can you call me Catrick?" to my sister, because he loved cats.
Oh.
And then
I love
Xavier
that.
jumped up and went, "He's a cat fucker!"
What? Really?
In 5th grade.
In 5th grade, he's a cat
Xavier
fucker?
was my favorite person in the world.
Xavier's a fucking sociopath.
Dude, he just jumps like, "He's a cat fucker!"
Oh my gosh.
He was only in our class for the first like 5 minutes of every day and then would get kicked out.
Oh,
Xavier?
Yeah.
Oh.
the
Poor
bad
guy.
Emily,
kid.
I was trying to think of embarrassing stories to tell about you. And like most of them involve me, so I didn't really think of many. But I thought
I
it was
love it.
pretty embarrassing. Remember when your hermit crab ran away?
Oh.
What?
Yes.
That's not even a hermit crab would stick around.
Oh my god.
Oh.
What
My
a
hermit crab
loser.
ran away, and I was so distraught over it that I, for like a month, left its like little shell,
Little
of
shell and
kibble
sponge.
and its sponge of water out on the floor
Oh.
in case it came back.
Oh, it ditched its shell also.
No,
No, like his
was like
his
its
kibble
food
was in the
bowl was,
Oh,
Kibble.
was a seashell.
his kibble.
the hermit crab kibble. She would
That's
leave
probably
it
why it
out
ran
on the-
away. You were trying to
She
feed
would
it
leave
cat
it
food.
out on the floor to
Whatever
try to get
cat
it to come
or
back.
no, whatever hermit crabs eat. Yeah, I would leave its like food dish out and a sponge of water.
We'd be like, tonight's the night.
Yeah, he's coming back. No, but
Or
I
we'd
do
look at
have-
it, we'd be like, I think some of it's gone. I think he must have eaten some and got
Oh my
scared.
god, yeah.
So you guys know what actually happened, right? I mean, I don't want to blow your minds or anything.
What?
You
pa-
ate it for dinner.
No, your parents got tired of a hermit crab and they flushed it down the toilet. They didn't want a hermit crab anymore.
Probably. No,
You don't flush
I'll never
something
forget.
with a
It was
shell
our
down the
aunt.
toilet.
We were having a birthday party for our Aunt Jeannie at our house, and one of my cousins let it out. Not to name names.
Yeah.
Megan
Some-
Michaela.
someone
let
left
my
the
hermit
gate.
crab out.
Someone left
And
the
I'm
gate
sure
open.
it just like fell down the heating vent or something.
Yeah,
and
but
it was
who
lost
paid your
forever.
cousin to open the gate?
Probably
Right.
my mom.
Your mom.
Probably Epstein.
Conspiracy.
Probably Epstein.
Yeah.
I mean,
He had his fingers
probably.
in everything.
I mean,
Where's the...
So I will
Oh, yeah.
say I do have in thinking of embarrassing stories outside of just like the mundane day to day of my life, which is embarrassing. I did think of one of myself. Well, one of myself and one with my sister that I'll tell because this podcast seems to be exclusively a roast of Molly Graham, which I can appreciate.
It's messed
So
up.
both involve college. I went to I went to Gettysburg College, which was like a very small school.
haunted.
maybe I shouldn't even say that because I'm gonna like incriminate myself. But so at one point it was the middle of winter, maybe like January, February, and Chitty Bang was coming to campus.
Who? Wait,
campus.
what was that word?
Oh, he's
What's
a
that?
rapper.
Chitty
A rapper?
Bang. He was like
Shitty Bang?
Chitty.
yeah,
Chitty.
like
Chitty,
Chitty
bang,
bang,
bang.
like
Yeah.
chitty
But you
bang,
just
bang.
dropped one bang and one chitty?
He had a song that was big that I can't recall at this time. It's irrelevant. But anyway, so we go to this like student union building, the Cub, and we like check our coats, and then we decide that we're not drunk enough to be there. So we leave and go to like a neighboring house to take shots, as one does when they're in college, to get super psyched for the Chitty Bang concert.
Word.
My boyfriend at the time had driven down from Syracuse, New York.
I was
to
about to
visit
say,
me
you
for the
didn't have a
weekend.
boyfriend.
Yeah, it was rare, but he was there. So he was visiting, and I was just like, whatever, trying to basically live my life and ignore the fact that he was there, but he was coming along with me for the journey of this weekend.
That's why Emily never had boyfriends.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of time for
Aw.
paying attention to people. So we go to like a frat house or something, and we're taking shots so that we can get super psyched for Chitty Bang. And again, we had already had to check our jackets so that there wouldn't be like water bottles of vodka or whatever college kids do. And we couldn't get them out unless we would have to leave forever. So our coats were in the Cub. We were across campus, which is not a big campus. So we were just running. So we take our shots. We're ready to go back to the concert. And I take off at like a full sprint because I'm wearing like a lace tank top and a bandeau, and it's February and probably snowing outside, and I have no coat on.
Yeah, that is something about college. Like, no one wears a coat.
Everyone somehow I don't know how we all didn't get hypothermia.
I used to be so cold in college.
you were just cold.
But I feel
all
like
the time.
everyone who went to college walks around now with a hoodie that says their college on it.
That's true.
We would
And it's like, cool, you
get
paid.
dressed up to go out and we had what we called frackets. We would like buy really crappy coats at like Walmart and put on like sweats and a fracket over our dresses or whatever, and like run across campus and then take them off and like hide them in a corner for the party, and then
because all the parties it was all frat houses.
yeah.
Oh.
So you would
anyway,
run to the frat house and then ditch your shitty jacket.
We're taking
And
a
it
lot of
didn't matter if
tangents
someone
here.
stole it.
But basically this is the crux of why my whole life was embarrassing stories like this. So I'm running back to the Chitty Bang concert, and I was wearing like knee-high boots.
Can't get over that.
My
man.
boyfriend from Syracuse is following shortly behind me, and I lose my footing and slid like with no reaction across the concrete face first.
Oh my god.
Probably slid 5 feet.
Oh my
I
god.
sit up and instantly burst into tears like a toddler. How when like babies fall, they just like start crying. Instantly burst into tears. I look to my right, and because I was in Gettysburg, there is a woman in Civil War era garb leading a ghost tour of probably like 20 to 30 tourists around our campus who have all witnessed this. So I'm wasted, have just slid across concrete on my face, burst into tears.
Oh.
My boyfriend is like, okay, let's just like get you up, whatever. We go into like this closest campus building. It was like some academic building. I call my friend who has to come meet me in the bathroom, and I'm like crying. I had the right side of my body essentially was scraped off. So like my entire cheek, my shoulder, all the way down my arm, my boob, my hip, like everything was scraped off. I was like crying to my friend that I'd never be able to lactate.
You can from the other boob.
Which was a whole thing. But like, God forbid, do not forget that we had to make it to the Chitty Bang concert.
I'll never forget.
With your nipple falling off.
Yeah, with like my face a bloody mess and my nipple hanging off and my arm cut up. So we continue our journey. Luckily, we walk in, and a friend of mine worked at the student union building, like the desk, the info desk. So she went behind the desk and put like 2 Band-Aids across this huge swath of wound on my face. Maybe like 3 Band-Aids across my arm, which was scraped off, and is like, oh, you're good to go. So I go to the whole concert. We go out afterwards. I remember distinctly, I was sitting on a bar and all of these people kept coming in. My friends kept coming in and taking one look at me and being like, what the fuck are you doing here? You need to go home immediately.
Go to a hospital.
And I'm like, woo, fine. And then I woke up the next day and it, in fact, was not fine. And then the whole week of classes, like teachers were holding me after class to like ask what had happened.
Yeah, be like,
me.
hey, I know your boyfriend was in town.
Yeah. And I had to tell everyone that I was on a run and I slipped on gravel.
Oh.
And slipped and scraped.
On a run. Okay.
Also embarrassing. This can layer into the embarrassing story is when I was in college, I was like one of the few people at Gettysburg who was poor and had to actually have a job while they were in college. Everyone else was like really rich from Connecticut or something and like, didn't have to do it. So I worked at the student union building at like the Starbucks on campus. And I would have to wear a green visor and apron and push a giant cart, which I would fill with like gallons of milk that I would have to bring up from the freezer, or like giant trash bags, like a cart overflowing with trash. And I would like be pushing it through the student union building filled with like my very rich, unheard of work classmates.
Yeah. So
and I'd be like, hey, everybody. So then I also had to work at the coffee shop for 2 weeks with a scraped off face and like explain that every time anyone came in.
And you were already just like the poor trash girl who had to
already like
push the milk cart.
The weird visor milk cart girl on campus. Yeah.
I've said all like 15 times. For some reason, your embarrassing stories are just sad.
Yeah.
Very sad.
That's probably a pretty accurate description.
I'm still sad that you didn't get to hear Chitty Chitty Bang Bang when you went to that concert.
Yeah.
I would have been so pissed. I'd be like, hee ho.
I wish I could remember
Bang,
what
bang, we love you.
He sang that was popular at the time, but I can't.
It's okay. Jeff wouldn't know it anyway.
I'm sure it's called Opposite of Adults.
Featuring the sample of MGMT.
MGMT was definitely.
Wait, yeah, it was. Hey, I once was a kid and I had a dream. Sorry, is that the Hamilton soundtrack?
Who knows?
Oh my goodness.
There's also the time that my sister ruined my college graduation.
Okay, we don't have to. We don't have time. It's time for an ad.
There truly is not time for that story.
I also ruined your high school graduation. Anyway, Matt Cole with the ad.
I forgot about that.
Apples? Get your apples. Oh, hello there, son. What you trying to do? Oh, governor, I'm just trying to sell apples on the side of the road. I have to pay for me college tuition. Well, you're never going to sell apples that way, son. Oh, no? Well, how do I sell apples? Why, you ought to buy Dapper Apples. Dapper Apples? What's Dapper Apples? They're apples, but with a mustache and a top hat and a monocle. Watch me sell one right now. Hello there, would you like to buy a Dapper Apple? Why, yes, I would, son. Well, how much would you like? I'd like 1,500. Oh, thank you so much, Governor. What's your name? Why, my name's Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, that ad was disappointing.
Although, Molly, maybe you can make commission off of the Apple sales.
Yeah, maybe
Now
you can get your
that-
$4 for that.
Now that's an idea.
There you go.
Also, what were you really doing on the side of that highway?
Yeah.
There's no way you were selling produce. You were selling
Wait.
something.
A lady never tells.
Lady of the night never tells? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was like a lady of the night, but of the day, and cantaloupe.
And cantaloupes.
Wow. That's like your official like court name. Lady Molly Graham of the Cantaloupes and Day.
Oh, now we're in the back half of this. We're past the front
Segments and
9
games.
Mhm.
to games and segments.
The segments and games. Fuck.
Mary,
Kill.
raise yo. Gonna fuck Mary and Kale and raise yo.
Chitty bang.
Chitty chitty bang bang.
Chitty bang.
Yeah.
Where my bangs at? Where my bangs at?
Who let the bangs out?
Where my
chitty,
bangs
chitty,
at?
chitty.
Where my bangs at?
That's right. This is the game called Fuck, Marry, Kill, Raise. We made it up on the spot. Right now, we're making it
New
up as we
game.
go along.
Never
It's
played
Vogue.
before.
It's in fashion. We're trademarking it. Okay, so the way this game works, let me explain the rules real quick. We're going to give you 4 options. You have to fuck one, marry one. You cannot fuck the one you marry. Kill one. You cannot fuck the one you kill before or after the murder. During is fine, I feel. And then raise one.
I don't
And
know
you cannot,
about that.
you cannot fuck the one you raise.
I feel like for this version, instead of fuck, we say bang, and instead of
Yeah.
raise, we say chitty.
So, fuck, marry, chitty, raise. What?
Chitty bang.
No, bang, marry, kill.
No, guys, it would
chitty.
be Mary, kill, chitty, bang.
Yeah. That
It
that,
starts with fuck.
that works out.
Is it marry,
Okay.
fuck, marry, kill, raise?
Nothing.
How
Fuck,
do we
marry.
usually say it?
Okay, so your options: fuck, marry, kill, raise. Me
Chitty, me.
Me. Bang.
and yourself.
Okay. Got it.
And bonus question if you throw in chitty bang.
Okay. So
You're
let's
giving-
break this
Bonus
down.
question.
You're giving her an out, though.
I guess I would, well,
Be confident. Don't guess.
yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and fuck Jeff. Because I think
Yeah.
Molly would be really upset about
You
it.
always take what's
Ooh.
mine.
Exactly.
You'd be
She would
so
be
mad.
super jealous
Love it.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
upset
I
that
would
we
freak.
had become closer.
I would totally freak.
Yeah, she would lose it. Matt Cole, I would marry.
Yes.
We really bonded over the merch table
I
at
agree.
Panties in a Twist. Shout
I
out.
agree.
Friend of the pod.
Molly, I already practically raised once.
No. Oh.
And I did a terrible job.
I was about
You're
to say,
throwing-
so you're to blame.
You're
2
throwing
years older
serious
than her.
shade at Pat and Mary Kay right now.
I think they would say the same.
They were in
Yeah.
a pub.
There
Yeah.
there were 3 parents involved in this situation, and I started at age 2.
Wow.
So yeah, I would re-raise Molly with what I know now with all of my wisdom.
That's
And
sweet.
I would kill myself for being on this podcast.
I can't
No, but I loved Wesley Boone's like poetic ending of his lovely ending to his life when you guys would all be gathered around his bedside and pull the plug. So I think I
Yeah.
would do the same when I inevitably slip into dementia, which I'm pretty sure is starting now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that's true. Me and Emily,
I've been really depressing this whole episode. I
Yeah.
guess.
me and Emily both have dementia. A lot of people don't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's a fun fact.
It's really
Yeah.
early. You guys are only, what, 35 or what is.
Oh,
You want to fucking fight?
harsh,
Shit.
Matt.
Dude, they're about to come
29,
chitty chitty
thank
bang
you.
bang you.
Want to
Thank
come to my house and
you.
I'll chitty chitty your bang bang? bitch?
I'll
Wow,
just
your hair
say,
just got silly.
I know.
next time we see one another is not going to be pretty, Matt.
She's got
Oh.
your number, bitch.
Oh,
I
shit.
did go through a phase of throwing drinks in people's faces.
I'm
I used
not,
to punch
Yours
dudes.
can be next.
I'm not sure if she
I
has.
punched a couple people, but let's not talk about that.
Yeah, Emily used to hit people too. Me and Emily have similar phases and some very different phases.
In some very different phases.
It's weird.
And that was Fuck, Marry, Kill, Raise.
Yeah, that's the game.
Bang, bang, chitty chitty bang bang. Where are you? Oh, ho, in a little car. And doo dee doo
Emily.
dee doo.
Yeah.
Emily, I think that since you have revealed to all of us that you are such a huge fan of rap. We should do a little segment that we call the guest raps.
Rap for us, rap for us.
Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty.
I don't know if I have that music or not. Let me see.
Be who you are. That's who you are.
Oh, no, wrong button.
No. That's a previous rap. If you think you can beat that line, you'll be just fine.
So what's gonna happen is Jeff is gonna drop a beat,
I am.
and then you rap about the things we learned in the podcast today. So it's kind of like a moral of the story moment, but you say it in a rap like you're Alexander Hamilton.
This is not a game I should be participating in.
Emily, you are the Lin-Manuel Miranda of our family.
They do often say that.
Oh, are you doing it? Put it up to the mic. Let's hear it. Drop the beat.
It needs to be in the mic.
Drop
Okay,
the
Emily,
beat.
are you
DJ
ready?
Bang
No.
Bang.
You ready, Chitty?
I can't hear it. Put it up to the mic.
Jeff, we can't hear anything.
There you go. Is that it? Oh. We're losing it.
Jeff is like having a great time by himself.
I'm
But
going to have to edit the
we can't-
shit out of this
We
episode.
can't participate.
Do I need to get the real one? I don't know. No one said we. Okay.
Okay. Oh, God, not the frog.
Be who you are. That's who you are.
Emily,
What?
you're going to have to freestyle. We're having a snafu with the beat.
I'm not gonna launch into a freestyle rap. My
There we
mind
go.
is a blank canvas. I can
Hit
think
it.
of not a single word to say.
You just said 2 sentences.
Keep going.
If Chitty Bang was here, we'd have a really fun day.
Oh.
All I've learned is that Molly has diarrhea. I don't think you can rhyme anything with the Rhea.
Finish strong. Finish strong. Say, be who you are. That's who you are.
Be who you are, that's who you are.
Yeah!
Nailed it.
Wow.
Emily, if you
Oh,
had to
shit.
pick.
Wait, can I re-rap?
What?
Yeah.
I have some words of wisdom to share from
All
my
right.
grandfather who left this pillow at my house.
All right,
For
we're
those
back in it.
listening at home, everyone can see this pillow except for you guys, so use your imaginations. But it's like an old timey, like grandma knitted pillow with like an Irish saying on it
Yeah.
that you would think would be a prayer,
Wrap it.
and it.
Wrap it.
Well,
How
it
does
says,
the best?
May those who love us, and those that don't love us, may God turn their hearts. And if he doesn't turn their hearts, may he turn their ankles, so we will know them by their limping.
Wait,
And my grandfather just left this sort of
that didn't rhyme, though.
harsh pillow
That's
at
just a
my
shitty
house.
prayer.
Yeah, it's a
I
shitty
know.
rap,
I
a
was
shitty
like,
prayer,
I thought this
shitty
was
pillow.
inspirational.
Oh, my God. I feel
Yeah,
cheated.
Irish people
You disappointed the
famously
frog beat.
are too drunk to rhyme.
That's
Give it-
true.
Give her the
You heard it
frog
here
beat.
first.
Give her the frog beat.
You heard it here
You
first.
disappointed the frog beat. It's ashamed.
All right. I think that was...
Oh my gosh. All right. Well,
I feel like
And
half
that
of this
was
episode is
the
us
guest
just playing.
raps.
I feel like this has been the all-time worst episode of How Embarrassing featuring me.
No,
That's
have
not
you heard
true.
Wesley's?
I liked his.
Everyone liked his.
I think I got
Just
cheated
wanted
out
to
of
throw
like
someone under the bus.
all my embarrassing stories were actually about myself and instead of about my sister.
That's true. It's cheap to just go after someone else.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
So you're welcome.
yeah,
Thanks.
Remember that.
Honestly, it's always such a blessing to have you around to yell at me.
Oh, I've said oh a lot.
For
this
doing various
episode.
things.
All right. Did we ruin your life today?
Always. You've been ruining my life since you were born.
Yeah.
December 10th, 1992. Life
Ended it.
ruined.
Never forget.
Never forget. Ruined both graduations. I'm gonna come on again and tell those stories. That'll be my return.
All right.
Yeah.
In 2025, we are
All
going
right,
to do that.
To all you worms out there, wiggle, wiggle. Just like we say at the end of every episode, me and Jeff will say it together.
Of course. Whole Foods.
Foods.
Thanks for listening to How Embarrassing Podcast with Molly and Jeff, a Go On podcast. If you had an embarrassing story and you'd like to be on the podcast, send us an email at howembarrassingpodcast@gmail.com.
But
You guys have an email address?